Rigor here, Rigor's Garage and Boat Basin. Today we're doing boat basin work. We're going to be working on these nasty little stainless steel clamps on the 1986 Wellcraft Excalibur. I'm going to show you how to take the clamps and trim them and form them in such a way that if you come close to one, you don't have to become a blood donor. Hope you enjoy the episode. Thanks for coming back. So we're working on the header cooling line. This is the water cooling for the 1986 Wellcraft Excalibur. And what I'm going to be doing is putting new stainless steel clamps around here. You see the handy dandy little clamps came from my favorite boat store, Home Depot. And I'm going to take those and put them on there. I'm also going to show you how to take and trim them so they don't stick out kind of like this one does. You sit there and you see the stainless steel on this clamp right here. I'm going to show you how to take and prevent this sharp edge from turning you into a blood donor. Some of the tools you're going to need anytime you're working around these stainless steel clamps, you should have gloves. These came from the home store. I prefer the ones with the exposed fingertips. Prevents you from cutting up your hands. Also, I have, turns out buying these by the bag is substantially cheaper. Oh, airplane. Wait for the airplane to quit. They're substantially cheaper when you buy them from the bag. The cost for a clamp goes from $1.50 down to 50 cents a piece when you buy the whole bag. Other thing you'll need is a 1/4-inch impact driver with a 5/16 socket. These things are the greatest thing since they invented Wednesdays. Next thing you'll need will be the Dremel tool, and I'll show you how to use the Dremel to trim the clamps to size, and then we'll form them so that they don't sit there and try to bite you when you go near them. Okay, we're gonna move from the boat basin. We're gonna move into the garage and try to finish this project up. Okay, here's the tools we need to fix these clamps. First thing is a Dremel tool right here with a cutoff blade. That will be used to cut off the clamp. Next is the impact with 5/16, either a 5/16 socket with a 1/4 drive or a 1/4 drive to 3/8 inch adapter with a 3/8 inch drive socket. You will need a Sharpie that'll mark on metal. You'll need a file, a fine file. This is the typical clamp right here. Now you find there are several kinds of clamps. The cheap clamps will have a stainless steel band with a plain steel screw in it. The expensive ones will be all stainless steel. To determine whether it is all stainless steel requires a magnet. The stainless steel clamps will not be magnetic. In terms, what we have here is an example of one of the clamps. What I've done is, if you take a look here, I have marked, there's a black mark about 1/4 inch from the screw right here, and I've made a little mark. Okay, what I've done is I've tightened the clamp on the hose. I know where the correct position or the correct tightness is. Now I'm going to take it off. Yeah, making sure it's going the right way. It's not. Going to, and wouldn't you know it? You know, this clamp is an old style clamp that is not 5/16. So I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to see if I can replace the clamp with a correct clamp. You'll find some of the clamps I've gotten in the past were metric. I try to stick with either one or the other, either all metric or all SAE. We'll see what happens here. This appears to be a metric clamp. Okay, I'm going to, and I do not have one that is going to fit here. Well, I'm going to use this one as an example on one of the feeders for one of the headers. I'm going to put this on and then tighten it. Okay, and so you'll see right here, you end up with this tang out here, which basically usually cuts into you. So we look at about 1/4 inch and we make a mark right here and here. Then we're going to reverse the drill and take the clamp off. Now, if you can imagine doing that with a screwdriver all day long. Then I'm going to take the Dremel. Let me plug this in. And I'm going to cut off the remainder. Isn't that exciting? The screw fell out. Let me put this back in. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is take a pair of pliers. And if you take a look right here, I'm going to back up approximately 1/2, somewhere around maybe 3/8 of an inch. And I'm going to take and give this a bend. If you take a look, it's not perfectly round. It's got a little bend right here. And then I'm going to put it back on the hose. Now, in this case, rather than sitting and holding it, which is kind of tedious, I'm going to start the hose clamp on itself. And since I can, I'm going to slide this over the hose. Other way. And I'm going to tighten the hose clamp on the hose. And what you will see is this one is still sticking up. Basically, I haven't bent this enough. I'm going to do it again with a slight bit more bend. Going to start it again. Now, what you have here, basically this has a tendency to bend down instead of stick out, although it is still sharp. I'm going to take the file and take the sharp edge off the stainless steel tang. Let me see if that's still sharp. Okay, that's one little corner here. Okay, now the other thing you'll find is over here, these little tie wraps that you see right here, these are also sharp, and after you cut them off, it leaves a sharp barb. I take the file and file them slightly to just slightly round them over, and you can sit here and feel them. They're no longer sharp. That's the basic process of taking and turning these from little knives to something that you can avoid, that will not sit in and cut you. Well, that's the approach to doing the hose clamp and getting rid of being a blood donor. I hope you found this helpful and something you can use every day. Okay, here's the finished water manifold for the port side header on the Wellcraft engine. Got all the clamps on, tightened, shortened. Every one of them is smooth and shouldn't lead to cutting if you come near it. That's what it should look like. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.